All right, so let's put on your boots. You'll hear people say that the ankle is the queen of skiing, right? And it is. You ready? Let's go! The moment I stepped foot on snow, I knew I was gonna love it. And I also knew that I wanted to change what I was seeing. I didn't see too many people who looked like me on the guest level, on the staffing level. I just knew I wanted to make that change.
When you think about skiing, who do you picture making their way down the mountain? Personally, I picture white people, and I'm not wrong. Historically, skiing has been almost exclusively white and affluent. According to a recent survey, only 1.5% of visitors to resorts were Black, while 89% of visitors to resorts were white. Today, I'm here with Annette Diggs. Annette discovered skiing in 2018 and has since dedicated her life to creating space for Black, Indigenous, and other women of color in snow sports.
Everybody who plays a sport knows that you have an athletic stance. You know, your legs are about shoulder width apart from your hips, right? You know, you're nice and ready to go. I'm gonna push myself and try to glide a little bit. Whee! I'm trying to get some. All right.
When you decided to take lessons, what was that process like? Because I just wanted to take my son for a single lesson 2 weeks ago and felt overwhelmed by the process.
It is a challenge, you know. It's incredibly expensive to afford snow sports. When you're looking at entering, you're also looking at investing anywhere between $600 and maybe $1,000 just to try the sport. And that could be like the household expenses for, you know, an individual or family for the month or two. When I started off, I didn't have the gear. I couldn't afford the gear. And so I just went to, you know, my local grocery store. You know, they sell clothes in there. Yeah. So I just, you know, got me some like 1999 rain pants, you know, and a rain jacket. It was like the grocery store brand, you know, because I didn't know if I was going to, you know, like this sport. My mother and father were born in a time where they didn't have civil rights. My grandparents didn't have access to mountain spaces. Going outdoors wasn't a safe place for us. And in my family, I could trace back, my grandmother was a help, her mother was a sharecropper, and her mother was a slave. I grew up what they call red line community. I was being pulled from my school and being bused from one school district to another and being the only Black person in that space. After every holiday or every break, the teacher would ask, you know, what did you guys do over the spring break? And I would hear these stories of these kids, you know, going out of the country, going to all these different places, and it ignited like this curiosity within me. You know, we would go venture around our neighborhood and make our own outdoors because, you know, we didn't have access to going out in the wilderness. So we would, in our apartment complex, we would jump off of I would tell you, we used to jump off of the second story of our apartment complex and believe that we were martial artists.
I love it. We would make our own outdoors.
Made our own outdoors.
Have your parents ever gotten on skis? I know your mom paraglides.
My mom and dad did not have these opportunities. So every time I learn a new sport, I'm dragging my mom and my dad. I'm dragging them along, and I'm like, you know, I've made my mom like paraglide at least 4 or 5 times already. Like, even
God bless her.
Yeah. The point is that, you know, when I'm out here taking advantage of these opportunities, I also bring it back home because, it wasn't presented to my mom and dad. I'm trying to heal them and their childhood and give them the opportunities, right? I took them to their first ski area to expose them to that. They never thought, like, in their 60s, right, that they would ever step foot in the ski area, and they find so much healing through the work that I do and the opportunities that I bring back home for them. My knees slightly bent and my hips slightly bent and my arms out, right? Am I picking the collard greens? Or my pulls are kind of behind me like this, right? Right? This is the position I want to be as I'm getting a really nice forward glide, right? Once you get a glide, you're going to hold it, arms out, hold it. Hold it. Nothing's going to happen to you. The terrain is going to stop you. You want to make sure that you're not too far in the back seat, right? And that's a total normal response. Yeah. Protect. But in order to protect, that booty has to come in, right? In a little bit. You want to get back in your athletic stance. So this is a little steep, right? You're essentially throwing yourself down the mountain.
Yeah.
You're going to have feelings of maybe anxiety, but I want you to calm that down, calm that heart rate down, calm your mind down. So I'm going to take off. I'm going to push myself, right? I'm just going and going. Don't break your phone. Yes. Hold it. Nice work.
Oh my gosh.
Nice work. That is great. You even went to a baby turn at the end. Yeah. Congratulations.
Well, there's that moment where you're like, holy, am I just going to let go? Or am I going to, it's very like a big mental practice of you just got to let go.
You got to let go.
You're let go or you're going to fight it. You're going to let go.
I love to teach. Watching somebody have those breakthrough moments of, I could do this, and overcoming psychological barriers. I'm going to tell you, it's providing opportunity, but it's also healing me. When I walk into environments where I'm the only one, I think about the people in my community. I think about the strong women in my family. I think about the legacy that the Black people went through in this nation. Even though I walk alone in that space, I know that there's a whole community, a whole legacy that's behind me, rooting for me, because it took a lot for me to even be here, right? There was a lot of advocating for us to have this opportunity to return to the mountain.
Fleet Feet is on a mission to inspire the runner and everyone and is proud to sponsor Crosscuts Out and Back with Alison, Mariella, Désir.